Okay, in this video we're going to show a practical application of grid. Now that we got a handle of what grid is what's possible with grid, we can take a look at this example. So this is a example of a layout. So there are 6 blocks here, and each block has different like menu items, and you can see that there's a call to action in each one of them. These buttons. There's a headline, there's some text, and then there's a background. Well, each one of these boxes has a certain size, so it's 533.3 pixels wide by the same height, and all 3 of those boxes together makes up about 1600 pixels. And the same is true for this second row. So how can we do that in code? So over in CodePen, I have the basic structure here, each of the boxes, and you can see that the text is centered. We have the CTA in here, and the layout is wrong, right? So the height of these is wrong. They're not in their columns. So this is where grid comes into play. So before we get into that, just look at this structurally. So I have a main tag that's going to be my grid container. Then I have section tags with classes on them. In each section would be a grid item. So, and that's what these boxes are. And those are all styled with different background colors, and all that stuff is styled. So each section is being styled with Flexbox. So they're all set to display flex. The flex direction is column, so that it goes up and down rather than left and right. And then I have justify content center and align item centers. And this is going to be important when we turn grid on. And so let's do that. So in the main container, which is our grid container, we want to say display grid. And again, nothing's going to happen here when we turn this on. But now that main section is our grid container. And then the sections are grid items. So then following what we saw in the mockup, we want to set the grid template columns to those values. So 533.3 pixels, 533.3 pixels, and you can already see it's going into position here. So now I have the 3 columns, and that doesn't look right quite yet because we need to set the height of the rows. So then I can set grid template rows, and there's only 2 rows, so we're just going to give the height to both of those rows, 533.3 and 533.3. And now we have something that matches what our mockup looks like. So this is where the Flexbox centering is important. So the justify content center and align item center puts them into the center horizontally and vertically, and that matches what our layout is. So this is how you can use grid on a section of a page. There's many other sections, but and we're using that in combination with Flexbox for the grid items. So you can use both of these together in conjunction to create some layouts.